forced labor, sexual servitude, or organ harvesting. And whereas human trafficking is a $32 billion a year global enterprise, it is a crime without borders, violating civil and human rights. And whereas the United States government estimates that 600,000 to 800,000 individuals and children are trafficked across international borders each year and exploited through forced labor and forced commercial sexual activity. And whereas the United States is the largest consumer of byproduct of human exploitation, including sharing, trading, and selling pornographic images, pedophilia, consumer goods purchased, and the aid of exploited persons begging and prostitution. And whereas 1 in 5 human trafficking victims are children, exploited for begging, child pornography, labor, or organ harvesting. And whereas human trafficking is a crime statistic managed by the National Conference of State Legislators, which ranked New Jersey number 13 of 50 states, a ranking which escalated from the previous year in 2018. And whereas public and municipality calls to defund policy constraining law enforcement budgets and reduce law enforcement allocations of funding, presenting potential for diminished capacity of resources necessary to extinguish the scourge of human trafficking. And whereas the state of New Jersey has failed over the past 5 years to carry out a state law explicitly directing at the prevention of human trafficking by omission of issuance in annual reports on prevention efforts and the dismissal of monetary constraints in law enforcement associated with extinguishing human trafficking. And whereas the state of New Jersey has not allocated funds for victims of human trafficking, which was to be funded through perpetrator fines from crimes involving human trafficking, and at present, the victims' fund remains unfulfilled. And whereas we, the governing body of the Borough of Lebanon, Hunterdon County, New Jersey, call of all municipalities within the community of Hunterdon County to advocate on behalf of those who fall prey to perpetrators who knowingly choose to exploit other human beings for monetary gain. And whereas we, the governing body of the Borough of Lebanon, Hunterdon County, New Jersey, give rise to the unheard voices, the victims, to the governor's office advocating for immediate action to remedy the appropriation of funds for law enforcement, the allocation of funding for victims, be dedicated for rehabilitation counseling, including but not limited to vocational training, while ensuring that perpetrators of such heinous crimes pay restitution towards the victim crime fund dedicated to same. Now, therefore, the Borough of Lebanon governing body seeks to call the issue of human trafficking to the forefront in the interest of our residents, as well as the larger community of the state of New Jersey, and indeed all states of the nation. These tragic statistics relating to the victims of human trafficking impact all people of all communities. We seek to recognize and support key designees who work tirelessly to protect exploited victims and survivors of human trafficking while bringing those who exploit others to justice. These bodies include teachers, social workers, healthcare professionals, members of law enforcement, including the New Jersey State Police, as well as federal entities, the Department of Homeland Security, and our military branches.